So hello, Jackie.
Hello, Darren.
How are you doing? Right, we've returned to Edmund Byers Church and to have a look at this. Jackie's keen to have a look. I'm equally keen. But just what we've noticed just before we go in, it's absolutely horrendous there. But what we've got, guys, they're nice, aren't
Isn't
they?
it pretty normal for us though, going to a location and it's horrible?
I think so. Well,
Yeah. I mean, if it's not raining, it's not, you know.
It's very true. This chap's a bit more worn away, isn't he? Right, so hopefully we're still open. Well, yeah, open. I can see it's open. So let's give it a look. I think we're going to have to use the cameras on our phones. The cameras, the lights on our phones.
Do you want me to give you some?
Can we borrow this?
Oh yeah, that might be useful, mightn't it? Do you want me to be your lighting person?
Right, shall we? It's like the lady with a light. Now we're knackered. Shall we? When I came the other day, the curtains, I was slightly unnerved by the curtains. Oh, this is good. That makes it very shadows.
Oh, really? When does this church now?
I think in its guise, I think it's 12th, 13th century, but I think some parts of it are Saxon. So 800. It says early medieval. Is that 800? 7? It's our window. It is, isn't it? Really thick walls, aren't they?
Yeah. This stained glass is only little sort of like almost like these arrow slit windows, aren't they?
I wouldn't like to think I was spending the night here.
Well, I think you were definitely brave to come here.
And yeah, it was this bit here.
Right.
See, there's a velvet curtain there,
Oh yeah.
and it hasn't changed.
Is there like a?
Oh,
Is it the vestry?
fantastic. See, there was a light. That's the light. That's your confessional, isn't it? I didn't dare come in here the other day. Right.
You did coming back.
Right yourself. So is there anything you notice? That's...
Like it smells really old, isn't it? It's got that really, really old smell.
The glory of God. I wonder what... Why would that be? Why would there be like a...
What with the cutouts?
I'm
not sure.
It's a lot of work.
You find these niches though, don't you? Like in old churches and monasteries and that.
That's so top heavy.
Oof.
Oh, the light's gone out. That didn't go out the other day.
Did it not? Did it go back in
That's the organ. So this is the chancel, isn't it?
Yes.
This bit here.
Yeah.
Look at the books.
Oh, some old Bibles. And the organ.
What's this one on the walls there? Wonder why they brought graves inside. Yeah, yeah.
1703, you can see a date on there. It says, here lies the body of Richard Johnson?
Yeah.
Johnson of Norfield, who departed this life, and then I think a date or something, of July 1778, age 57. That's 1703.
221 years.
We had, I don't know why it's been brought inside.
There's
Is there any more that have been?
There's one on
brought
the
inside?
one on the back wall, which is
I thought that was like a wooden plaque.
no. This is the one for I've got her name now. Lee, wasn't it? And she's the lady that was the last known witch in the north of England.
Right.
But she wasn't tried, and she wasn't. She wasn't tried, and she wasn't killed. But when she was buried in the graveyard, the locals weren't happy. And what apparently they did, they planted wild garlic everywhere, because apparently wild garlic wards off the witches. And also, most farms and houses, they planted mountain ash, like a mountain ash tree, because it was believed it warded off any sort of nastiness. So apparently that's still prevalent today.
So before you were saying about, was it like the south side of the church was?
I read that about that Devil's Door, and it said that the north face of the church, I think it's the outside face, it belonged to Old Nick.
Right.
And Old Nick was like the devil. Because in the Bible, there's a few quotes I read, and it said that any evils are that when it comes, it'll come from the north. Maybe that's why the Norman, like the Vikings, were so feared, because they came from the north, and they're the Norsemen. So yeah, and so it was said that it really, really was unlucky to be buried in the north side of the church.
On the north side.
Yeah.
Right.
They would give you many reasons, but someone said it's possibly because it didn't get the sun, and your gravestone will be all mossy, so which stands to reason as well. But also they believed that would be north, because this will be going east-west, won't it? That is the all-seeing eye, or the eye of God, or the eye of Horus.
Oh,
And
it's strange that it's like that this grave marker here is directly below that.
but what I read was that because of the circumstances of this person, that they had that installed to oversee and to prevent anybody in an afterlife walking the grounds of the church or walking in the church after death, because they believed that this lady is Elizabeth Lee. Elizabeth Lee, that it was to prevent her awakening,
Right.
and being in some sort of limbo.
When realistically she was probably just like a,
Yeah, she probably used to
nice old lady with
crush
a
up daffodils to give her a bad head.
Really?
I don't know.
Just a healer, well, more than likely. I mean,
But there was
things like that, didn't
there was a big change in the 1600s. There's a big change in medicine, and people who did faith healings and things like that, they were suddenly ridiculed by the pharmacies as they were coming along, because they were making money selling you things, where people were doing leeches and that were like, I want rid of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why have an apple a day when you can spend thousands on medication every month? I guess. But yeah.
She would have probably been like the local, like you say, the local healer or midwife or something.
There was one of them, not her, but one of the witches, they said that on an evening she would transform into a swallow or a swift, and she would fly round the village.
Right.
And she would fly underneath cows and sheep and horses and things like that. And within a week, the horses or whatever would be demised, they would die.
Right.
And they blamed her for this. But when crops failed, they were blamed for that.
Right.
So they were just, scapegoats, yeah. But that's fascinating now.
It really is.
So according to the text behind you,
Have you seen our Eye of God window? The all-seeing Eye of God watches over the universe. The Eye of God in a triangle is used in church architecture and Christian art to symbolise the Trinity, Father, Son and Holy Spirit, and God's presence everywhere, and His divine providence. It's often used as a Masonic symbol, and we think that the vicar who had this window made was a Freemason. That makes sense then. He was also a bit wary of witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but in the Masons, did it say off from a symbol? So you have to believe in a higher power, didn't you? But it wasn't, as long as you believed in a higher power, you would be accepted into the Masonic Lodge. And because I went to an open evening when they tried to get you, and that was one of the questions, do you believe in a higher power? And it's like, I guess so. But you had to, and you had to swear.
Right.
Well, it didn't matter who it was,
Yeah.
but then you would have to swear allegiance that you would not break code or something. It was a bit odd. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Like a rumble.